Hey, welcome back to another walkthrough. This walkthrough, we're going to look at Excel F7F Add Form New York Revenue. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's download our files. Remember, we're doing Excel 7F. Let's download our materials. Do not click on the Download All Files button. Click on each file individually. And then go ahead and open up your student file. And make sure you hit Enable Editing. So to get started, we are going to display our second worksheet, the advertising rate information. So let's go ahead and click on advertising rate information. So for step number 2, we want to select the range A4 to C11. And we want to sort this range by code. So let's come up here to our Home tab. Under our editing group, let's click on Sort and Filter, Custom Sort. Let's go ahead and sort it by code, A to Z, and then hit OK. So now we want to create a named range from the cells A4 to A11. So let's highlight A4 to A11, and we are going to create from selection. To do this, we're going to come to our Formulas tab here. Under Defined Names, we're going to click on Create from Selection. And we are going to use the top row as name and hit OK. And that will create our named range of code. For step number 3, it wants us to click on the advertising order form. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a formula that's going to look up information from this advertising rate information spreadsheet. So let's go back to that advertising order form. First thing we need to do is create a validated list. So let's go ahead and click on cell A9, and we're going to click on the Data tab. Under our Data tab, we're going to click under Data Tools, and we're going to click on Data Validation and select Data Validation. So here we are going to validate our criteria. We're going to click the down arrow, and we're going to select List. And as the source for our Windows users, we're going to type in equal and then type in the word code. Equal code. Make sure you capitalize that C. For Mac users, follow the instructions on step 3. You're going to type in a different code here. But for my Windows users, type in equal code and hit OK. And now we're going to copy this down to A18. So notice there's this little itty bitty dot in the bottom right hand corner of our A9 box. So let's go ahead and hover over that. Notice we get this black cross. Go ahead and click hold and drag it all the way down to A18 and let go. So now when we click on cell A9 and there's a little arrow next to it, here is our list that we created on our advertising rate information. So let's go ahead and select D/PH. Next, let's go ahead and click on B9, and we're going to use a VLOOKUP function that will look up information on our advertising rate information based on whatever code we have under item. To do this, we're going to come up here to our FX button, right here on our formula bar. And here is our VLOOKUP function. If you don't see the VLOOKUP function here, you can type in right here where it says brief description, type in VLOOKUP and hit go. And there it is, VLOOKUP, hit OK. And now we need to put in our function arguments. So our lookup value is going to be whatever is in A9. So let's go ahead and type in A9. For my table array, we need to select the table on the advertising rate information. So once you click in table array, you have to be very careful on what it is that you click on. Come down here, make sure you click on the advertising rate information worksheet and highlight A4 all the way down to C5. Once we've highlighted A4 to C5, we need to make a mental note of where description is, because that's what we're trying to pull over to our other worksheet. And it is in column number 2. So this would be column 1, this is column 2. So once we've highlighted A4 down to C11, we need to hit the F4 key on our keyboard. What that's going to do is it's going to make this an absolute cell reference. If you have a Mac, the command that you'll use is the command key and T. So you'll hold down command, hit T. Or you can put a $sign before and after the A and put a $sign before and after the C if need be. So once we've typed that in, go ahead and click on the column index number. And remember how I told you it was in the second column? Go ahead and put a 2 here. And that's it. So what this formula is going to do is it's going to look up this DPH. It's going to look up that code on that advertising rate information worksheet. And it's going to return whatever value is in column 2. So I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to give us Southwest Tourist Magazine. So now we need to go over to C9. And we want to type in 4 as the quantity. Go ahead and hit the tab key under type. Let's go ahead and type in regional. Hit the tab key. And here we're going to go ahead and put in another VLOOKUP to look up what the unit price is. So I'm going to come up here to the FX button, VLOOKUP, hit OK. Same thing, we're going to use A9 as our lookup value. Our table array, once again, is going to be the advertising rate information worksheet. We want to highlight A4 to C11. Remember to hit that F4 key or that command T or put the $signs in. But this time we want a unit price. This is in column 3. So under the column index, we need to put the number 3 and hit OK. And it's going to pull over what that unit price is. So now we need to copy both of these formulas down. So let's go ahead and click on cell B9. Hover over that little dot in the corner where you get that black cross. Click, hold, and drag it all the way down to B18 and let go. And let's do the same thing to E9. Let's go ahead and put your go ahead and select E9, hover over that little dot, click, hold, and drag it down. And there we are, we have our formulas copied down. Now we want to fill in the rest of our information. So right here under A10, let's go ahead and hit the down arrow key, and we want to select D-R. Notice that we'll put the information in here for us automatically. Our quantity is going to be 6. We're going to do national. Now we're going to go down to A11. We're going to hit the down arrow key. We want to select D-IN. Notice how it brings over all the information. We're going to do 15, and this is going to be internet. After we type in internet, let's go down to A12. Let's select B-BB. This is going to be 7, and it's going to be billboard. And that's it. So what we managed to do is create an easy worksheet that allows you to look up information based on these codes. So now we're done with the rest of these, so we need to delete these rows here. So let's hover over the 13. Notice when you hover over the 13, you get this black arrow pointing to the right. Go ahead and click, hold, and drag all the way down to 18. Then right click on 13 and hit delete. And now that gets rid of all of our unused rows. Now we want to sum all of these numbers here. So let's go ahead and click on cell F13. Let's click on our Home tab, and under Editing, click on Auto Sum. And it will automatically put in our formula for us. All we have to do is hit Enter. Now for step number 6, we want to make that a total cell style. So make sure you click back onto cell F13 under the Home group, our Home tab, under our Styles group. Let's go ahead and give this the total cell style. And go ahead and click on A1 to deselect everything. So now we want to go to our sales data worksheet. And notice here we have a bunch of numbers. And if you look closely at some of these cells, they have incorrect functions. You can see that by the little green triangle up at the top. So here in I5, we have an incorrect formula. Notice the little dot there in the corner. We're going to go to our Formulas tab, and we're going to trace precedence. We're going to see where this information comes from. And if you look here, this row is talking about belts. So this